to be great at something, you gotta pursue that no in people. Like you've gotta push to be able to get to it. And it's difficult, you know, it's like anything else. There's the fear side of it that, you know, oh no, I'm gonna, you know, I don't want to be too pushy, I don't want to be too nosy, I don't want to be too aggressive, I don't want to be too this, I don't want to be too that, right? Those are all the phrases that we hear that keep us from actually pursuing that no. There's a really great book called Go for No. I don't know if you remember that book, Monica, but it was a story about a young man, and eventually, you know, it kind of tracks through his life, but he was taught to always pursue rejection. He got his first job selling suits, like a Men's Warehouse kind of thing, and so that was his first sales job ever, and one day he's sitting in there, you know, waiting for customers, as you do in a suit shop. And a guy walks in and he starts buying things left and right. I'll take this, I'll take that, give me some of those, give me some of these. And he's just like, the kid's running around just pulling stuff off the rack for this guy, right? And the manager is kind of sitting back, kind of watching everything that's going on. And so finally, the guy, you know, after picking out maybe about 30 items, you know, goes to the counter and the kid's ringing him up and he's finally done. And the guy leaves with his bags of clothing, right? And so the manager walks up and he's like, hey, and the kid he's feeling great. He's like, wow, it's the biggest sale I've ever made. This is awesome. And the manager goes up to the kid and he says, hey, that was a great sale. But I'm curious, what did he say no to? And the kid says, well, he didn't say no to anything. He bought 30 items, 30 suits, or 20 suits, 10 pair of shoes. I mean, he bought so much stuff. He's like, yeah, I know, he did quite a bit. But what did he say no to? And it was such a revealing moment for him because finally the manager said, well, if you didn't ask him, if you didn't get a no from him, how did you know he was done shopping? You know? And I think that's the difference between like an order taker and a salesperson. There's a lot of order takers in our business. Like there's a lot of business that's easy. Like literally, if somebody's in that moment where they need a move and like basically they're willing to work with anybody, any agent can do that. Like anybody, like literally even really bad agents can do it. Because they're order takers basically. And if you're like, and there's gonna be some fortunate opportunities where you're gonna get a person that just literally walks in this door and was like, I know what house I wanna buy. It's right here, just buy it for me. That's gonna happen to you one day. If it hasn't happened yet, it will at some point, you know, and it's gonna be the easiest sale of your life. But that is the rarity, and to be great at something, you gotta pursue that no in people. Like you've gotta push to be able to get to it. And it's difficult, you know, it's like anything else. There's the fear side of it that, you know, oh no, I'm gonna, you know, I don't want to be too pushy, I don't want to be too nosy, I don't want to be too aggressive, I don't want to be too this, I don't want to be too that, right? Those are all the phrases that we hear that keep us from actually pursuing that no. But it's like anything else. I mean, that's the no. It's like the fear of jumping out of the airplane, right? It's like it's scary up until that point, till you just do it. When you call that person, it's the wrong number, right? And you're like, oh, I'm sorry, click. When all you have to say is, well, you know what, while I've got you on the phone, do you have any real estate related needs currently? What's the worst he can say? No. And that's fine. What's the best he can say? Well, as a matter of fact, it's interesting that you're calling because I'm trying to sell my house. And then you won.